Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. All right, thank you for having me. My name is Theodora Ishola, and it's always an honor, a privilege for me to connect with amazing women, you know, especially during the International Women's Day. And thank you for turning up. Thank you for being here. Okay, so thank God for technology. Even though I'm not there physically, I'm able to connect with everyone and talk with you. So it's interesting to be able to do this. All right, so I outlined a few things that I would have my keynotes around today because I understand how important it is for us to be able to know where we want to get to and how where we are and how we can get to where we want to get to. So I'll take that again. It's important to know where you are, where you want to get to, and how you will get to where you want to get to. Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to start with why. Okay, why? Now, starting out, knowing your why may be difficult. Okay, but knowing that you should know your why just helps you to find it. And you can search through, places. You can search through your conversations with people. You can search through just within yourself. You can search through all of that to know your why. Now, for me, I sat down to think of why, right? Why I wanted to start a tech career. Why I wanted to, go beyond just being a young girl who would wait to get everything handed over to her. I mean, I didn't have that privilege. I had to look through, why would I want to wake up every day and put in the work? Okay, so in searching for my why, I knew that I wanted to support people, support businesses now, and I wanted to do it from the comfort of where I am. Okay, like being able to talk to you today is something that I wanted to do. I mean, that was part of my why. I wanted to be able to earn my own money, right? Earn my own money, so I don't have to explain why I need to get a certain amount and explain my life out just to get it. Okay, yeah, and of course I wanted to build my family and travel. Now your why can begin from something very basic, to something very deep. Okay, now if you feel like, oh, my why needs, I want to change the world, I want to build I want to build something in Mars, I want to turn a town hall to don't mind me, I want to do something. It could be that, but your why can simply just be, I want to be able to afford the things that I like, right? I want to be able to be with the people that I love. I want to be able to keep improving my skill, keep stand out in whatever I do. So that can be your why. So just like it is popularly said, right? There is a book, Start with Your Why. Start with your why. And like I said, the why is practiced. You practice it, okay? Starting out, my why is different from my why now, okay? Now, I wouldn't even want to talk about my why now. I just want to talk about the why that helps me connect with you. That helps me bring this message. That helps me show me to you so that you can relate. Okay? So that's how I started my why. Now, in talking about the next thing I would like to talk about is, please bring your voice down. Bring your voice down. So the next thing I would like to talk about is, documenting your wins, right? I put it here to say maybe what I've done so far, right? And I often see that people are waiting to hit a jackpot. People are waiting for that big thing before they celebrate themselves. All right? But the truth is, the days are going, the years are going, and when you keep waiting for that time or for that big break before you celebrate, before you breathe, before you even, give yourself a treat, that may take a long time. It may even put a strain on you in waiting. All right? So, what is worth talking about that I've done so far? All right? What is worth talking about I've done so far? Okay, so simply from transitioning my career, right, from basic medical sciences, I studied physiology in university. And right after my first degree, I started my IT career. So simply doing that alone, I think is worth celebrating for me. It's worth celebrating for me because at that time, most the thing you could think about is, graduating with a 2-1 or first degree, first class rather, and going into medicine. Okay, and even for you to think of lecturing, you also need to at least have a 2-1 or a first class. And I had a lot of challenges at that time. So my third year, I just knew that 2-1 was hard to reach. I was close, yes, but I just knew first class was not coming, right? And of course, you know how our Nigerian universities can be. They say first class is for the lecturer, okay? So having that, knowing that I could transition from physiology to IT, it's something that I celebrate all the time. It's something that I celebrate. And throughout, I've been able to, grow, build myself through the support of individuals, through the support of organizations. So that brings me to telling you that in your journey, you will need the people who can help you. Community, brings those people close to you. So being part of a community like the Women Tech Makers, like you are right now, it brings people close to you. People who are in the same paths that you are. People who are traveling on the same road that you are. All right. Now, when I started, it was a bit difficult to have that with other women, right? I mean, I was blessed to have men, who supported me. And of course, though and while they were so willing to help, there was always this need to have a woman, right? Someone who could really understand what I was going through. Someone who could relate with, some of my fears, who could relate with my pain. So having that community can help you leverage, all right? Having that community. So with the community, you're able to, move at every stage and see the progress you're making. Not waiting for 10 years, not waiting for, say, even 5 years to say, oh, I've been able to do this, right? So you can celebrate your wins on the go. You can celebrate and, of course, leverage on the people who are around you, the people who support you. right? So I'm going to share something that, you know, I mean, over the years, you know, while still looking for that sister, right, that woman to support me, I met an amazing lady. I met her, and oh, we clicked. We clicked so much because she was in the tech space, and she's been there before me. So it felt so good, like, oh, I finally found someone who I can look up to, you know. And in 2 years, our relationship grew. But unfortunately, you know, she passed. And that hit me, my God. That hit me so much. It broke me. Because you imagine something you've wanted so much and then you found it, you know. But what I'm going to say from that is I learned a lot of things from her. I learned a lot of lessons because I was asking questions, I was watching her. So even though it was 2 years, it was 2 years that was worth it. It was 2 years that was worth it. So that is one of the wins that I celebrate, and I celebrate our life even today. I remember was I think it was 2019, 2018, 2019. I hosted a Women in Tech event in Port Harcourt, and she was a keynote speaker. She was a keynote speaker. I still remember, I still have that video, right, where she spoke. She shared her story. You know, she encouraged. I mean, you could tell she had gone through some struggles as well. And it was so beautiful to see that, you know, this journey you are in, other people are going through it. And it really doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. It only matters that you tell yourself that, oh, this is my why, right? And at every stage, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate. Not waiting for that, you know, stuff to celebrate. Not waiting. Amidst all the rejection letters, amidst all of the challenges, amidst the miserable crumbs that sometimes hold you so much for you not to be able to move. You know, by the time you pick yourself back up to send that email, to write that code, right, to create that beautiful design, I think it's something worth celebrating. Something worth celebrating. So the next thing I'll talk about is how I leverage my experience. How I leverage my experience. Throughout the years as I'm building my career, I find myself teaching, helping others grow their career as well. Okay, so as I learn, I teach, right? As I learn, as I teach. So that's how I'm leveraging my experience. So for you, there are different things that you'll be able to express what you're doing. It could be writing, right? It could be speaking, it could be teaching, it could be just in the way that you empathize with someone, right? So find a way to express, you know, the experience, to leverage your experience. And the things that we learn in the IT industry, I don't think that you need to be in the workspace, right? You need to be employed full time to use it. Okay, so there are different avenues you can begin to use that skill that you're learning, right? Through freelancing, through, you know, starting something on your own, through volunteering, and most importantly, even in your house, right? Even in your house. So one of the lessons that I teach my children and word, I say how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? If you find yourself, you know, you tell yourself that, oh, I want to ensure that dinner is ready at this certain time. You know, you tell yourself that, and you find yourself delaying. You know, you say, after all, it's the house. Now everybody will understand. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Because if you successfully do it like that, anyhow, right? You enjoy the anyhowness in your house. You will take it outside. Also, so it's important you check how you leverage your experience on the go, not because you are perfect, not because you are there yet, but because you realize that you are a work in progress. and you're always working towards continuous improvements. So I'd just like to confirm that you're hearing me loud and clear before I continue. So I'm waiting for feedback just to be sure I'm being heard loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Okay, so the first thing I will talk about is my commitment to core areas. My commitment to core areas. So the reason that I outlined this to talk about is we try to find the balance between not boxing ourselves in and not being everywhere. I mean, it is so tempting to be everywhere, right? It is so tempting. Now, with the way we have a lot of things happening, you know, the rate at which technology is evolving, the rate at which, you know, we feel like we need to learn everything. You need to find your core areas, the core areas where you keep on developing, you keep on building. Now, you realize that if you've heard about graphic design, say 4, 5, 6 years, even, you know, years ago, you realize that, you know, people have evolved from that to products, UI UX design, product design, right? Now, most of this thing that you're hearing today, there's a foundation for it. There's a foundation. So even if where you start is here, you start now with what is here now, you need to find a way to track back and look at where it all started. It will help it make sense. It will help it make sense, right? So if your interest is coding and programming, right, you realize that, you know, algorithms is where it all started. You know, talking about the abacus, you know, you have to be able to track back, right, to know a little bit about the foundation to help yourself. If your interest is product management, okay, you need to understand the core. You need to understand areas of business, areas in technology, areas, you know, in design, not in depth, but you realize that for where I am now, or for where the trend is now, there is a foundation to it. Even artificial intelligence, you talk about statistics, you talk about probability, right? You have to be able to track back to say, where did it all start? And once you are able to grasp the foundation, it helps you. So by the time you know the area you want to build on, right, it's now the time for you to commit to that area, commit to the core areas, because something will always come up. Trust me. If you check now, there are new job descriptions. There are new job titles. I mean, the most recent one is the prompting engineer, right? So everyone is talking about ChatGPT. Everyone's talking about AI tools that help you, you know, do all sorts, right? And we now have prompt engineers. That is a new job role now, right? It's a new job role. But of course, you realize that if you not try to, you know, be somewhere, right, you'll be tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. Yes, you'll be tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. It is tempting. Trust me, I struggle with that because I feel like, oh my God, maybe I should be doing this thing, or maybe I should be doing that thing, right? But when you find your core, when you find your area, you can now spend your days building on that. And it's also very important to know that technology is an enabler. It is an enabler, right? Standing alone, it will not do so much. But by it enabling industries, by it enabling, different areas, you find out that we get to do more in that area. We get to do more in that area. All right. So my commitments to core areas for me, I came to realize that I enjoy teaching, right? Like I said, building my career, I've worked with quite a number of young people. Okay, not because I'm there, not because I know everything, but I feel like, when I learn something, I want to teach someone else. I want to bring them along with me so that we can all build. And I'm always glad to say that I have a mentee who works with Spotify. I have mentees who are running their businesses, right? Because I'm committing to my area, which is teaching, right? Which is supporting. I'm committing to that area. And of course, my core, I realized that, okay, to support a business, right, I need to understand business. So I started building my business skills, right? Helping businesses, position themselves right online, helping them look at how, to digitally transform, right? To digitally transform. So with knowing my core, I can spend my days building on that, making myself better, becoming better. And of course, I love to volunteer. Now, volunteer is actually supporting, okay? Support. So I love to volunteer, right? I like, to be in an environment where I can support people, and volunteering helps me do that, okay? So I often get a question, how do I know the area I should be building myself on, or how do I know the area I should start, right? And I use my story as an example. Now, I told you that when I left my undergraduate studies, I started IT, right? So I got an opportunity to go to NIT. NIT was so popular then. It was like the place that everybody that wants to know anything about IT goes to, right? In Port Harcourt. So I got in there, and they're like, so what would you like to learn? I mean, you need to pick an area. You need to pick a program. And I went to pick Java. I picked Java. And for the simple reason that I just like the name, right? I like the way it sounded. So when you ask me, what are you learning? I'll say, I'm learning Java. It sounded so sweet. But guess what? It wasn't easy. But with time, I sat down so much because I wanted to learn it. I wanted to know it. And then I learned it. All right? So this helps me to tell you that sometimes all you need to do is just like the way it sounds. It's okay. Start there. Okay? Don't leave this place and say, I still don't know what to do, or I still don't know where to start. I still don't know the area to focus on. Just pick an area that you like. Right? And cut yourself some slack. When you pick that area, by the time you start doing it, you will now realize that, man, this is not really what I want to do. I'll use another example. A friend of mine, she's run a restaurant business for years. Okay, super, that's fine. She's run a restaurant business for years. Okay, and she does it, really in a very mini way. She has some offices who come to it's more like a booker, right? They come there to buy food to eat. So I told my friend, I said, see, you are very good with this cooking. And you've been doing it for a while. Let's launch this business. Let's launch it. Let's go big on this business. Let's launch it online. And she's like, oh, fine. So we started. So I set up all the online platforms, was like, in fact, I think I had to delete some of the posts. I was like, 10 days to launch, 8 days to launch, 6 days to launch. We're going to launch our business online. The day of the launch came, and my friend, she was busy cooking. So I was the one having to manage all of the, inquiries, attention. After that day, 4 days, I did not hear from her. Auntie came back to me to say, you see, I don't really think it's this food business I want to do. I don't think so. Now, if we had not tried to go big or to attempt something, she will still be doing it. And she will still be doing it. And she will complain. She would, no, she knows, she knows I tell this story, right? Because it's something that we have both learned from. She got to the point where she realized that even though I'm doing this, and this is really not what I want to be doing for a very long time. But guess what? She started. If she had not started it, or if she had not tried it, she would have been thinking that maybe that's something that she would have been doing. But now she's doing amazing well, right? She's doing what she thinks that will take her closer. What I'm sharing with this story is this. Sometimes you don't have it, in fact, all of the time you don't have it figured out before you start. Okay? That area you want to build on, that thing that you want to do, you don't have it all figured out before you kick out. Okay? So the first thing is to look at the areas and you keep on. Now the challenges that you continue to face is that sometimes you will get rejection. You will get rejected. Yes. Now, just this morning, I woke up to an email that said, oh, you were not selected, and all of the one-to-one associated with it. I saw it. I'm like, oh, it would have been nice if I got this thing, but I wasn't moved because I've gotten so many. Sometimes I get emails and I see 2, I see 5. It's part of it. But if I'm not trying to do anything, I will not see all of that. Okay, so those are the challenges. Challenges also you will still not be understood, right? It's okay. If you are completely understood, even me, I don't know what to say about that. You will still not be understood. And sometimes when a lot of things happen to you, you will try to make sense out of it. And that can continue to mess up your mind. Okay, but when you tell yourself that, yes, I'm here right now, what is the next right thing? Right? So this is another phrase that I use with my children to say, yes, this thing didn't go right. Yes, this is something that happened. What is the next right thing? What is the next right thing? All right. So my session today was just to connect with you, share a little bit of my story, and also let you know that the journey to being a global tech woman, which I believe that's why you signed up, right, is not a walk in the park, right? Also, it is not impossible, right? But when you're waiting for that to happen before you show up, before you celebrate, you are wasting time. So for every point, just for being here today, I would like you to go on LinkedIn, go on Twitter to say, I attended the IWD Dare2Be, right? I attended it for 2023 and I learned 1 or 2 lines, right? Or I just attended it and I think that, I gained a lot, right? So you celebrate every phase. You do not wait to be there, okay, to celebrate that. And I'm just going to close with this. Embrace your femininity, right? When I say embrace it, I know that, especially, in the world where you want to show that you are hardcore, right? You want to show that, I'm hardcore. We tend to lose that. We tend to lose. But what makes us women, what makes us feminine, is the beauty of carrying your emotions with you. I say that boldly. Carry your emotions with you. On the days where you are tired, rest. Pause. Don't stop. Right? The days you don't feel like it is okay. It's okay. Tomorrow, pick up from where you stopped. Don't feel like, oh my God, because that time you can't do something today, and you're there thinking, oh, I should be doing this now. Oh, I can't do this now. Oh my God, is this my life? Or what is this? That alone is stressing you out and will mess you up. Just say, fine, this is my state today. Okay? This is my state today. Guess what? If more of us start to embrace that, then you tell yourself that, the days that I am feeling me, I'm giving it 150%, right? Because I realize that there are some days all I can do is 50%. But the days I'm feeling me, I don't think you have any issues, because organizations, individuals are starting to understand that it's really not about showing up in the office or just being there saying yes ma, yes sir. Once you can deliver, once you can give results, right, I'm sure any sane person will allow you to do it on your own time, and they want to be able to trust that when I do it well, right? So remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. The days you are feeling down, rest, pause, don't stop, and when you pick up again, give it 110%, give it 120%, and together let's build a world where we enjoy being women, where we enjoy giving our best, where we enjoy doing all the things that we love, where we enjoy celebrating ourselves day to day, and where we together build a better world. Thank you so much. My name is Theodora Ishola. I currently work as a product manager, and I am a digital transformation consultant. Yes, I love spending time with my children. I love traveling. I mean, I'm not able to do that because I have little children, but I love it, right? And I love connecting with women. I love supporting. I love a world where we can all show kindness to one another. Thank you so much, and have a great day ahead.